Okay, so here we are on Bitcoin on the daily time frame. And yesterday we had mentioned that after this major drop here, we were expecting Bitcoin to come back up and test the breakout at around 59.7. And that was exactly where Casi has shown you that 382 resistance level is also lining up with. So on the smaller time frames, you can see that Bitcoin has come up to around 59.4, but I don't think that was the test that we need. I think that was just half of this retracement that we're going to get before we come back down to make a new low to test this 382 here at 55.2. Also on the daily time frame, you can see that we don't have really that push up like we need. So this test, when we come back up here, really needs to bring up the RSI so that when we do come down to this level here, we're showing a major bullish divergence. And so that's what this retest is going to do, is bring up the RSI. And you can see here that it hasn't really brought the RSI up really at all yet. The RSI is still showing bearish. And so that's why we believe that when we come back up, it's just going to be a short-term retest before that last wave here. So let's just have Cassie zoom in here and give you a closer look at this wave 4 and show you what's going on.
Okay. Here's Bitcoin 1 hour. You can see this is what our wave 4 has been looking like over the last day or so. Definitely confirming that it's a wave 4 with how annoying it is. But it has, like Tar mentioned, it came really close to one of our targets, which is the 382 or the 0.5, but did not get that perfect touch. And you can see it looks like we're probably coming up to get that perfect touch here shortly. So in the next few hours, that's what we're looking for, is our wave 4 targets here. And what I really want to keep an eye on is I'm going to be zoomed into the 15-minute, and I'm going to be really looking for a bearish top in this area, because this level is also could turn into significant support and really invalidate that last low. So what I'm really looking for is that we do indeed find a top here, like I think we will. So,
and Cass, can you remind us what the two price targets are?
Okay, so we're looking at 59,660, that's our 382, or we're looking at 60,600, that's our 0.5. So both of those are valid for our fourth wave. Like we mentioned in yesterday's video, we're getting heavier alignment with a deeper wave 4. So coming up to that 60,000, but both of them are still valid and we should really expect either one. What we're going to do is zoom into that 15-minute and really look for which one really forms that top that we're looking for. So that's what I'm going to be doing in the next several hours on Bitcoin. So like I said, I'm getting zoomed back into 15-minute here. What, Tar?
Where we had that, like where it almost reached that 382, I'm wondering if that was wave A. So maybe we can get that one extension measuring out wave C.
Okay, I'll try, even though look at this.
I know, but just using that, yeah.
The 1 is here.
Okay, so the 1 is lining up still right at that
with the 382.
Perfect. At 597 or so.
Yeah, 59,560. So depending on where 4 lands, like we said, really changes this 5th wave target here. So after this 4th wave, if we can confirm that top and it doesn't break into our invalidation zone at 62,290, this 5th wave is still valid after that 4th wave. So we're looking at 55,000 on my chart, 55,166. So,
and then we will get the 618 extension too after the 4th wave top.
Which right now it is aligning decently, but we'll get a little bit more accurately once the actual top is made. We're looking at still being within this 4th wave here.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. All right. Let's get over to Ethereum then. Okay. So here we are on Ethereum on the daily time frame. And the only thing that I want to show you guys really is this perfect touch here. Again, right at that 0.5 main support level. And then also that was our 618 extension for this 5th wave using this new high here for this 4th wave. So look how perfectly it did target that level, and we've now bounced back up above this previous support here at this 1 fib. And also the RSI is starting to curve up. I do want to point out that even though we had this new low here, and it is sort of a bullish divergence, it's really not anything substantial of a divergence. I feel like we should get more of a divergence before we can confirm this was done here, even though it did hit the fib level. I am looking for something more, like I said, more substantial, maybe it bringing up the RSI higher up to this next resistance here at 3085 before coming back down again and forming that more clear of a divergence. Yeah.
Yeah,
And so
a clear divergence and a perfect touch on that 618, I think, is what we're looking at.
well, on Binance, it did. Binance did hit that 618, and knowing that Bitcoin is only on wave 4, I do think that we might just continue to range around these levels here until Bitcoin's done. But hopefully that brings up the RSI a little bit so we can get a better divergence before we move on. Just so we can get a clear signal that we are moving on. It's not that we need a divergence, it's that we really want that signal. And so that's really what we're looking for on the higher timeframes on Ethereum. Let's just have Cassie zoom in here and give you a closer look at what we're expecting.
Okay, so here we are on the Ethereum 1 hour. Like Tar mentioned, this was that 618 extension, that larger 0.5 retrace as well. And you can see just how close it came. On the daily, it really looks like a touch. But when you zoom in, it's just very, very, very close. What I have here are just our regular retrace levels from that wave 4 high. And I just have these pulled just to give me a general idea of what could be going on. But you can see on the RSI, we are kind of breaking out of this little trap that was set here. So it does look like some bullish momentum is going on. And then we have our next largest resistance at 3,026, and then our 0.5 at 3,090. So these will continue to be probably significant resistances. I'm assuming the 382 just aligning probably with where Bitcoin is, right? And then the 382 is probably going to be resistance that's at 3,026. But we could come up to that 0.5.
That 0.5 is lining up nicely with that higher time frame fib at 3080. Going off of where Bitcoin is by now, I think both of those are going to be significant. I do feel like Ethereum might come up a little bit higher in this retrace because it almost hit that full target anyway. So I do think it needs to possibly retrace a little bit more, and hopefully we can get a clear signal at that top so we can see if for sure that last wave is coming or if it's just going to invalidate it.
Enough. Yeah, it's really hard to know if this was enough or not, because so 2815 and 2807.
Yeah. And like I said, Binance's fib is 2814, the actual fib. So
we did get that bullish bottom too on the RSI when it touched on the 1 hour. So like Tara's saying, hopefully we can get some kind of clear indication breaking out of a trend or indication of a top here at these wave 4 targets that we're looking at to really confirm that that last touch will come. Probably looking for the price to more settle here instead of just like a quick wick, so that we can get those bodies, the candle bodies right on that fib. So just like Bitcoin, probably coming up for these short-term resistances, which I think is going to be at this 382. Just by looking at the way this looks, I think it's going to be that 3,026. But make sure you're watching the RSI. You can see this is still strong. So there's no top yet in this. So we'll watch that.
All right, let's get over to XRP then. Okay, so here we are on XRP on the daily time frame. And take a look at this price action here, because it looks like it's very much respecting these fib levels here at this 382, which is where we are now at 515 or so. And we've held major support right on these fib levels here at 48 cents. So if you've been watching our videos for a while, you know how critical of a level this is for us to hold here. And the RSI is now trending bullish. So it's up above its MA. So this is something that we need to pay very close attention to. And then also breaking up above the price MA would be a really good sign that we're on a new trend. So let's just have Cassie zoom in here and give you a closer look at what's going on.
Here we are, XRP 1 hour, you guys. And I don't know how to make this any more clear for you. Look at where we are at, even zoomed in the position on XRP. So we talked about, while we were at that 64 cents, we talked about this still needing another touchdown to support, and when it did, it would be breaking support, and that would be our final break needed to really break us out of this triangle. And this is playing out exactly as we talked about. What we need to see is XRP breaking back into the triangle so you can see this major resistance that we've been forming. But I do believe that our break is coming. You can see our major resistances right in the same view, our apex. Like, this is all very close and should get exciting really quickly. On XRP, you can see our last lows as we're coming down to supports are building a really strong bullish trend on the RSI. And then you can see this last impulse from the 0.5 retrace has really started to make a new trend. What I do think is that as it comes up in the next few hours to that first resistance, I do think that we are going to find resistance there. Just looking at where the RSI is sitting and where the price and resistance is, I think it could be a top there, at least locally. But I do think that we're going to to be close to breaking it. Even if this just starts to hover, this could really break out at any moment, like Tara is saying. We're just trying to track some confirmation. So this is not a time to be selling your holdings to try to buy back lower. This is a time to be just stacking as much as you can into your holdings at any of these pullbacks.